This video is rated S for Santa Claus. Off in the North Pole, Santa runs what is supposedly a toy factory, but is actually a slave house and a cult. My name is MaxLox80, and today, in this video, we will discuss the sinister secrets behind Santa's satanic slave house. Ho, ho, ho! Starting off, for the two people unaware, Christmas is an annual tradition where a bearded fat man wanders into people's houses and delivers presents for them. How such an odd tradition started is a discussion worthy of its own video, but for now, all you need to know is that these billions of presents are made by Santa's little helpers, the elves. All of these little elves work for Santa and therefore create products for him that he delivers for seemingly no cost. But we all know that there's something in it for Santa Claus. How could Santa make money from this exchange? Aha! Children are encouraged to leave out a glass of milk and 1 or 2 cookies for Santa Claus for when he stops by. Now, what they leave out varies from a range of tea to beer to milk and cookies to mince pies to actual pies to peaches. However, let's just assume that on average this costs £3. If this was the case, multiplied by the approximately 2.3 billion households that celebrate Christmas, and Santa would earn £6,900,000,000,000. And Santa's earning it every year. So surely these elves must be getting millions of pounds in their paycheck. Right? Wrong. Of course, there is a wrinkle in this, because Santa isn't making all of these presents for free. Instead, he has hired the elves to make these presents for him. So, let's figure out how much all of these presents will cost. I'm going to make this a low estimate by saying each of the 2.3 billion households want only 5 presents, and on average that costs £10. That sounds reasonable, but that would mean the elves need to make 11,500,000,000,000 presents. Now, if all households write their Christmas list on December 1st, this would give the elves 2,629,745 seconds to make all of the presents. If Santa had 1 elf, that poor 1 elf would have to make 5,324 presents every second. If Santa had 11,000 elves, then each one would have to make 1 present every 2 seconds. It would cost him £115 trillion. But this did get me thinking. Why would the elves show such a devotion for Santa Claus? I looked into this a little bit more and I discovered something deeply unsettling. Santa Claus doesn't just run a slave house, he also runs a cult. Okay, so why would I think that Santa's workshop is a cult? Well, I first thought, why is Santa Claus related to Christianity? The birth of Christ and a bearded fat man wanders into people's houses have almost nothing to do with each other. Unless it was a tactic of the cult to bring in more followers by relating it to a popular religion A cult is defined of a group that shares common religious or magical beliefs based on a living member of the cult, and Santa Claus is that leader. He is portrayed as being kind and loving to make people more devoted in the cult. Still don't believe me? Okay, I'll keep going. One of the key elements of a cult is that they remove any individuality from you and change your identity to be about the cult. All of Santa's elves have the same personality and uniform. Cults often promise you a better life in reward for joining and punishments for not joining. This is clearly embodied in the form of Santa's naughty and Santa's nice list, which punish and reward you for being part of the cult or not. Another tactic cults use is to target children. This is why Christmas is so widely spread among children. Wait, Santa Claus targets children, and children death rates spike around Christmas Day. Oh. Santa Claus kidnaps children and traps them in the North Pole, where they die or become so isolated that they go insane and fully join the cult, becoming one of his workers. And that is the Santa Claus Slavehouse cult conspiracy. I am done.